Hey people, it's Steel Gamer and welcome back to another episode of Shitty Development featuring Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, and this is the last part I'll be doing on this video, or I should say this game, simply because this next part is what caused me to stop playing the game to begin with, because the developers failed on all ends to explain anything on how the spell system works at all that's legible and make it work, and drove me out of my friggin' mind till I just friggin' sold the game. Because this is so stupidly put together, and I'm not even going to argue with people about how dumb this is. Furthermore, before getting into this, I skipped on opening the map or anything else because the game never explained how to do that. It said it, but it didn't explain it. So the interface has never gone over, so I skipped all of that. I have no idea what it says, and I don't really care what it pays attention to because we're not going to sit and deal with, I'm not going to sit and deal with idiots who want to defend this type of shitty programming. So let me get on to the spellcasting system, and there's a lot to go over here, and I'm going to explain a few things. First, I'm going to bring your attention to where it says I'm going to join your party and show you how to cast and memorize spells, and say that statement is bullshit. It's exactly the same thing as at the beginning when you're told I'm going to explain to you the basics and then the interface, and it never did any of that. So this is the same exact thing. So furthermore, I even tried speeding this up, so I already had all this gone through, and he just wouldn't shut up. Every time I go to set up this video to go over the dialogue, he interrupted and said, "You haven't cast a spell yet," and I got fed up with it and I reset the game to get to this point. So let me continue. So we're gonna on how to cast spells, but he doesn't go over how to actually do it. He just says do it and says a bunch of crap. So the first problem is he's telling you to select his spell button, okay, but doesn't tell you anything about what the spell button looks like, what you have to do with it, or anything else. It just says select a spell button. Then it says choose a spell, but yet hasn't gone over any of the spells or anything else like that. So I don't know even what's available. And then it says to, left click the target, which cannot be done because unless you know what the spell button looks like or where it is or anything else of that nature, which is kind of addressed in the second sentence here, but there's no way to actually do this, and I'll show you why. My cast spell button is the spell icon on the bottom of the screen. You need to have me selected for you to have access to my spells. Alright? Notice how it doesn't say how to actually select him at all. It just says you need to have him selected, so it fails to explain how to do that. So now we're going to say the cast spell button, which, alright, so now we're going to go into asinine, even more asinine stuff, because before even having you go through any of that, which they didn't, and they didn't explain it to have you go through it, which makes it impossible to do, now they continue on with even more nonsense that they didn't bother explaining. You can also configure quick spells. So now they're saying there's quick spells. Make up your mind. Do you cast a spell or do you quick spells? There's no differentiation here. There's so much garbage and run-on sentences that I don't know who the hell wrote this, but they need their head examined. Alright, so it says you can also configure quick spells by right-clicking on a quick spell slot, yet it doesn't tell you anything about the quick spell slots. This is the first time I've heard of this, and instead of telling me now, they should have said, hey, we're going to lay this out and then explain this to me, but this can't be done right now. So this summons a list of memorized spells to choose. If there are no spells listed, which there won't be because there is no spell slot, quick spell slot, which wasn't explained, and then there's no spells to select because they don't tell you how to get to his bar or anything else or what it even looks like. So these all go hand in hand. The character either does not have if no spells are listed, the character either does not have any spells memorized or cannot cast until higher levels, which now this is the first time I've heard of this, and now they're telling me that they're leading up to a bunch of garbage before breaking down any of the basics, but he was supposed to join your party and teach you how to cast and memorize spells, right? So far, we haven't learned a damn thing on that. It's just telling you to do all this horse shit that hasn't have any explanation, making it impossible to do. To cast the quick spell, now there's a section, now there's the quick spell listing, and now there's an actual quick spell. That makes no sense. Now there's three separate things. My head's spinning, and I don't know what is what, because they're cramming all this stuff together without separating it and going over any sections before going into the next one. So it says, to cast the quick spell, whatever the quick spell is, I guess it's a spell that speeds you up. So left click on the appropriate quick spell slot, and then select your target. But selecting your target, how? It doesn't explain how do you select your target. It says to cast it, click on your target, but it doesn't say how to select it. So now you got even more bullshit involved with this. Who wrote this? Alright, I want you to try cast a spell now. Select any spell in my repertoire and cast it on the belt. Impossible. This is impossible to do because Where's the spell book icon? Do I have him selected? How do I know? They didn't go over any of that. Is he selected? I'm assuming he is. But he joined my party and was supposed to tell me how to cast and memorize spells. You haven't cast a spell yet. Select my cast spell button and choose a spell and left click your target. Okay, I'm going to select something. It's not doing anything. Okay, so...
Don't be stupid. I'm your teacher. Stop trying to attack me.
It says attack him. And now that I did, it says don't be stupid, I'm your teacher. Stop trying to attack me. Who wrote this? This cannot be done. This is impossible to do. So now, I'm going to point out that if I leave this end and I go directly in the game, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. So, whoever wrote this, you have your head up your ass and don't know how to explain a damn thing, and you screwed this game up for anybody that doesn't that wants to might possibly be able to play it by denying simplified, common sense aspects when you're writing a fucking tutorial. This is far from a tutorial. This is abysmal, and you have your head up your ass and don't know how to explain a damn thing. You wasted all this space and didn't explain anything. This is absolute garbage. This game is crap. Well, that's all I got to say for now, and you guys need to get this straightened out.